Good afternoon, it's time for Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Today we'll join Volusia Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley for a look at how you can prepare for emergencies such as a hurricane. Then we'll find out about the services offered by a program called Prevention on the Move when we join health reporter Stephanie Strong. And finally, we'll join Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio for a discussion with Jeff Hentz, the newly appointed President and CEO of the Daytona Beach Conventions and Visitors Bureau. Those segments, news, and more coming up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. With much fanfare and big scissors, a ribbon-cutting ceremony presented the grand reopening of an 88-year-old Daytona Beach icon. After 2.5 years of repairs and improvements, the world-famous pier at the world's most famous beach is now opening again, and not just for some fishing. If you prefer someone else to catch your fish and cook it too, then Joe's Crab Shack is your kind of place. Last week, city officials, along with members of the Volusia County Council and hundreds of guests, celebrated the long-anticipated reopening of the 88-year-old pier, which was closed in November of 2009 for extensive repairs. The entire structure was renovated from the roof and deck to the pilings in the ocean. Daytona Beach's Mayor Glenn Ritchie said the city is very proud to once again reopen the most recognizable landmark along the world's most famous beach.
It's been an interesting journey. We've come a long way from the initial thoughts about could it be done and how could it be done, but partnering with the county, with other entities that were involved, the journey began to get a little clearer as we went along, building consensus and supplying the vision of what we ultimately were going to realize out of this pier was, I think, shared by all, and so therefore it ultimately came to fruition. In the heart of our community, of our tourist area, it could become a linchpin for a lot of other businesses to locate here because, activity draws other opportunity for people. So we're confident that that's really what's going to happen here.
The pier's 88-year-old building, which used to be a casino back in its heyday, has been transformed into a Joe's Crab Shack restaurant, which also opened last week. City and county leaders expect the new pier and restaurant will be a catalyst for a larger economic boost for the area surrounding the pier, known as entertainment or E-Zone.
Anytime you have this type of investment, one, you have the city's investment, you have the private industry investment, and also you have Volusia County as far as the Ocean Center and a lot of the partnerships we have in the area with the city as well. And I think it's just a sign, and what it is it's letting the business community know to come on in, come to Daytona Beach, come to Volusia County. It's booming, it's a good time for us.
What we try to do is sell the destination. Our convention center is a destination within the destination, but we have so much to offer out-of-town people when they visit here, either on vacation or for meetings as well. It's just another jewel in the crown of the Daytona Beach area.
The east end of the pier is open to pedestrians and fishermen from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. With the primary election just 2 months away, it's time for Volusia County citizens to update their voter records. This year's primary will be August 14th, followed by the general election November 6th. The Volusia County Elections Department is gearing up for a high turnout as voters will be electing not only a president, but also several state and local officials. 5 county council seats are on the ballot this year. If you've changed your address, your party affiliation, or your name recently, it's important to update your records with the Department of Elections by July 16th for the primary and October 9th for the general election. The 2 most consistent challenges on Election Day are voters upset because they can't vote on the ballot of their choice due to party affiliation, or voters who are unsure of where to vote because of a change of address.
It's a little easier to do address changes now. They could be done over the phone. Just call up the Department of Elections. It's easy, and do it over the phone. It's very, very easy.
If you want to change your party affiliation, record a name change, update your signature, or register for the first time, you'll need to complete a voter registration application. These applications are available online at volusia.org/elections. They're also available at a number of locations, including public libraries, post offices, driver's license bureaus, and, of course, the Department of Elections office. To become a registered voter in Volusia County, you must be at least 18 years old, a U.S. citizen, and a legal resident of Volusia County.
The biggest thing that the Department of Elections has been working on this year is the reapportionment and the re-precincting. It's been a huge undertaking for us. I'm really proud of the results we have. 50% of the people in Volusia County vote before Election Day. So we don't need the same number of precincts we had 20 years ago. So that's going to be a brand new change this year.
For more information about changing your voter information or registering to vote, please call the Department of Elections at 386-736-5930, or you can visit volusia.org/elections. To make sure needy children don't go hungry when school's out, Volusia County is sponsoring a summer food service program for children at more than 60 schools, churches, and other sites throughout the county. The program, funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, provides nutritionally balanced meals during summer vacation when school breakfasts and lunches are not available. The program, funded by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, provides nutritionally balanced meals during summer vacation when school breakfasts and lunch are not available. All children ages 18 and younger are eligible for meals at no charge. The programs are approved for geographical areas where 50% or more of the children qualify for free and reduced price lunch meals during the school year. Summer feeding sites that are in schools will provide meals to all children in the immediate vicinity in addition to those enrolled in the summer program.
I just want to encourage those families that cannot afford the meal, feels like there's a cost involved. There's no cost involved. And we want to make sure that people are aware that these sites are available, and any child that's under the age of 18 can go to any of those sites and receive a nourished meal.
This year's program will operate from June 11th to August 10th. For a list of summer food sites, please call Volusia County Human Services at 386-736-5956 or visit the Summer Food website at summerfoodflorida.org.
This is sea turtle nesting season. Sea turtles typically use the beach at night, so never shine lights on sea turtles' nests, hatchlings, or adult turtles. Ensure lights are not visible from the beach. While enjoying your night walk, use a red LED bulb or a red filtered light. Bright artificial lights can deter turtles from nesting or lead them away from the water. The beach belongs to everyone, including our sea turtles. Thank you for making it a safer place for everyone to enjoy.
Hurricane season is underway. Are you ready? Here and Now reporter Joanne Magley has more on how to prepare, even on a budget.
Forecasters are predicting below average activity this hurricane season, with 8 to 12 storms forming in the Atlantic. Last year, there were 20. And while a below average season is good news, emergency management officials are advising residents to be prepared.
The best example of an El Nino year small season was in 1992. There were 7 storms, and Hurricane Andrew hit South Florida and has still to this day remains the #2 most costly disaster that we've had. So all it takes is one to ruin your day, and so whether they're forecasting 20 or they're forecasting 5, we have to go through the same drill of making sure that our families are prepared.
Charlie Craig is the Director of Emergency Management for Volusia County. He and his staff make sure the county is prepared to respond to and recover from emergencies. He is urging everyone to have a plan.
And when we say a plan, what we're saying is know if you need to leave, know what kind of terrain you're on, if you're in a low-lying or a flood-prone area, or if you're in a manufactured home or you're in a home that you just would not feel safe in strong winds, then you need to know where you're going to go. Are you going to go to friends or relatives? Are you going to go to a hotel? Are you going to take advantage of public shelter? What is your plan? And then part of that plan should be notifying relatives, telling people where you're going to go, so that they understand if they try to get a hold of you how they can do so.
Part of your plan includes creating a disaster kit.
Seek shelter indoors until the storm passes.
One of the most important supplies in a disaster kit is a weather radio. That way, when the power goes out, you can stay informed of the weather. When it comes to water and food, Craig says plan on stocking up for 5 to 7 days.
One of the reasons that we have encouraged people to be self-sustaining for 5 to 7 days is that we've been through about 4 years of recession. And these recessionary times have resulted in a shrinking, if you will, of government services. It doesn't mean we're any less prepared, and it doesn't mean we haven't continued to train every year, but what it means is we don't have the numbers of people and we don't have the assets that we had a number of years ago.
When it comes to drinking water, you should have 1 gallon of water per person per day and half a gallon per pet per day. For a family of 5 with a dog, that adds up to 27.5 gallons of water for a 5-day supply. To save money, instead of buying gallons of water, you can make your own water bottles by either purchasing food-grade containers or coolers or by reusing 2-liter soda bottles. If the tap water has been commercially treated from a water utility with chlorine, you do not need to add anything else to the water to keep it clean. If you're using well water or water from a source that is not treated with chlorine, add 2 drops of non-scented liquid household chlorine bleach to the water, and then tightly close the container using the original cap. When it comes to stocking up on non-perishable foods, proteins such as tuna or peanut butter are essential, along with canned beans, snack bars, cereals, and shelf-stable milk. Don't forget the batteries, or things such as hurricane shutters or plywood to protect the windows, and tarps for use after the storm. And you don't need to buy the items for your kit all at once. Make a few extra purchases during regular grocery shopping. One thing you definitely can't afford is to not be ready. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Joanne Magley.
Volusia County's Emergency Management Division offers a number of ways people can be notified in case of an emergency. The newest being through social media outlets, Facebook and Twitter, and you can also be notified by email or telephone. To sign up, just go to volusia.org/emergency and click on Emergency Alerts. Stuart Marchman ACT is on the front line in the fight against HIV with a mobile unit that provides testing services to those who may not be able to make it to a testing location. In this segment of Community Health Matters, Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong tells us about the mobile HIV testing unit called Prevention on the Move.
Maybe you've seen this huge vehicle in the area. It's the Stuart Marchman ACT mobile unit called Prevention on the Move, and it's making a big difference in the community.
Prevention on the Move is a mobile van that we take to communities that cannot access health care. And what we do is we take the HIV testing and Hep C testing to them instead of them having to figure out how to get to the health department or other agencies that do those services. Everybody can't afford the price of a HIV test. Everybody don't have transportation. And so what we do is we take that out of the equation so everybody will have a better opportunity to receive those services that are so desperately needed in just about every community, especially the African American community. Once again, everything we say and do is confidential. And before we can do anything, I must have your consent to do HIV testing. All right, I'm going to close the curtain so we can get started. Instead of 2 weeks for waiting for your results, you're going to get yours in 20 minutes. The test comes back 1 of 3 ways. It comes back either negative, positive, or inconclusive. Any way it comes back, you and I will sit down and talk about the results.
Prevention on the Move is designed to increase access to services for individuals with unmet needs by delivering services to target individuals within their comfort zones.
You ready? All right. You're not going to feel very much. It's just a little sting.
HIV and hepatitis counseling, screening, and testing will be provided, and linkages to care will be made for participants who test positive for HIV or hepatitis or have other unmet needs. Prevention on the Move also employs a team of dedicated workers who are making a difference in our community. For more information on Stuart Marchman Act's Prevention on the Move, please visit www.smabehavioral.org or call the 24-hour Access Center at 1-800-539-4228. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Stephanie Strong, Public Information Officer for the Volusia County Health Department.
If you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can always log on to volusiahealth.com. And now it's time to head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron for his discussion with Jeff Hentz, the newly appointed President and CEO of the Daytona Beach Conventions and Visitors Bureau.
Well, thank you, Amber, and hello, everyone. Volusia's largest tourist agency, the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau, has a new president and CEO. He's Jeff Hentz, and he comes to the area from California. Mr. Hentz joins us in the studio today, and we'll get his thoughts on his new position in the Daytona Beach area. Jeff, thanks for being with us today.
I am thrilled to be here, and thanks for inviting me.
Welcome to Volusia County. Now, you've been on the job, I guess, a little bit over a month now.
Exactly.
Tell us a little bit about your background. I know you come from the Yosemite area in California.
That's right. I spent 4 amazing years out in Central California, but most of my professional career has been in Central Florida here, in Orlando and throughout Florida, all in the tourism industry. Late 80s, joined the Disney's first cruise, the Big Red Boat, and spent 6 great years, and then spent several years with a great hotel development company in developing both not only a hotel portfolio, but the cruise industry. We ended up having 3 ships and spent 7 great years developing that product and built it up to a very successful organization. And then went out to California for 4 years and developed a new model concept of tourism bureaus that's growing in popularity for a number of destinations around the U.S. And to have the opportunity to come back to Central Florida and what I think is one of the greatest destinations anywhere in the world, Daytona, is the dream come true. I pinch myself every morning when I get up, and I'm just thrilled to be here.
Yosemite, you know, one of the biggest, if not the biggest, national park. It's very, very busy in a beautiful part of California. You know, yet it's different than the beach atmosphere here in Volusia County. How different or how similar are those two areas?
You know, there's a lot of contrast, but yet there's similarities in the way that you market, and the customers, I think, are somewhat very similar, because a lot of the customers that came to Yosemite National Park, which we had 4.5 million people when I got there, we were barely touching 3.4 million. I had to go in and understand who these customers were and where I could find more of the ones that were coming. And what I found is they were really beach customers one weekend, and there were going to be national park customers or outdoor enthusiasts the next weekend. So that's where the similarities are. The other similarity, actually, Dave, that you bring up, a good point is contrast to similarities, is the customer, the outdoor customer, when they come to the park, there's only so many things you can do in the park, and our goal is to always keep them for 4, 5, 6 days.
Right.
So we had a lot of things outside of the park and all of our gateways, Southwest and North Gateway, that were a lot of geotourism and ecotourism. And that's what's similar out here, is we have those wonderful things to complement the beach, that we can do outdoor activities and things that are more closer to nature, that really gives that Florida experience. And to me, what better way to get the Florida experience than here in Daytona Beach?
As you said, Jeff, you're no stranger to the state of Florida. I'm curious as to what attracted you to apply for the CVB position.
Well, I still would go back and forth to Central Florida. My son is a sophomore at University of Central Florida, and that's where I graduated from. Over 20 plus years ago. I don't want to give away my age.
So go Knights, huh?
Yeah, go Knights. Absolutely go Knights. In fact, I did play-by-play and a lot of the sports for UCF Knights back in the 80s.
Interesting.
So, you know, Central Florida is always, it's my home, and when I learned of the opportunity that the Daytona Beach CVB was looking for a new president CEO, I made a few calls, got the background of what happened in the past and what they're truly looking for and what the goal is. And it just seemed to match my skill set. And when I came out here, I came out in Christmas. We were going to spend time in California with my family, but this year in California, there's no snow. It's been the driest winter in, I think, 60 years. In fact, you could drive across Tioga Pass, which is 11,000 feet up. Normally that's closed October 15th. In January, everybody's driving through in shorts. It was one of the warmest winters in history. Yeah. So my kids were looking forward to skiing and coming out and hanging out in California with Dad for a month. So we ended up staying in Florida. playing some golf, and went up to Daytona to kind of look around and see what the State of the Union was, and I was so impressed with what I saw was this renaissance ready to start. And I said, you know what, this is where I need to be. I believe I can help this community, and it just worked out that I'm here, and I'm ready to, and I'm so looking forward to being part of this new Daytona area.
Being a marketing guy, the SWOT analysis, SWOT, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, is a common analysis that's done. I know you haven't done an official one yet, but in your mind, have you done a SWOT analysis, strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats?
I sure have. I think without, if we start with the strengths, obviously, the natural assets that we have here are a huge strength. A strength that, or think Orlando wishes they had. Right. And I think that opens the door for us to really start partnering more with Orlando as the beach and tapping into that $55 million. And I think that's one of many strengths. I think we have a great lodging community. We have all our natural assets. I think the weaknesses side is more on we've had a deterioration of not so much the beachfront, but the properties through hurricanes and through this horrible economic recession has caused a lot of properties to take what money they had and put it back into the marketing and not so much into the infrastructure. So I think from that's a weakness. It's something that we do have to address, and we're going to, I think, with potential new hotel development, opening of new restaurants, the opportunity for the E-zone. I think that's a weakness that we're going to turn into a strength. Right. Opportunities. I just mentioned them. The weaknesses are the opportunities. We can take our existing hotel properties, improve our marketing, increase ADRs, increase visitation, increase the occupancy, and the money that we bring in, we put back into those hotels to freshen up, upgrade from a 2-star to a 3, 3-star to a 4, and everybody wins. I think those are the opportunities, not to mention opportunities to partner and work with other areas such as Orlando to start to tap into that $55 million. Threats. Probably the greatest threat outside of the economy falling back again is, and of course gas is a natural way. If gas jumps up to $4 or $5, fortunately I think oil was down to $82 today, which means it's going to continue to drop down. I think our threats are really competition. What we have around us in the state of Florida and throughout the U.S. is economic development is really becoming a big part of tourism. Tourism is economic development. And more states and more regional municipalities are putting more money into tourism, which means we have more competition. We're competing so much more against destinations that we have. Wait a minute, where do they come from? They're in the newspaper now, or they're advertising on TV. That's probably our greatest threat, is our customers could be swayed by 20 other destinations that didn't exist 10 years ago.
$80 million expansion of the Ocean Center, a first-class convention facility now puts us in a whole new marketing genre. How important is the Ocean Center to you, Jeff, in the success of this area?
One of the reasons I'm here. I would tell you that if it wasn't here, I would be probably the chief advocate to build us a world-class convention center. It helps us to diversify our market and make us a 12-month-a-year destination. We're not there yet. We're going to get there. On my clock, I guarantee we'll get there. We're going to have strong marketing practices, but the Ocean Center is such a crown jewel of convention centers, not to mention that we have this amazing arena attached to it, and we have this performing arts center that's just a few feet away. I think we're in the game. We're a sleeping giant. We're going to wake that giant up, and we're going to go after some business that should have been ours a while back, and we're going to go get it.
The City of Daytona Beach and Volusia County has been working to redevelop that general footprint area around the Ocean Center that's been called the entertainment zone, and Main Street, the boardwalk, the pier, the Ocean Center area, and that sort of thing. I know as we tape today was a great day for the City of Daytona Beach. The pier is open. Joe's Crab Shack, a nice restaurant on the pier, has opened, and there's lots more to come. In the paper today, news that there may be a hotel a little bit to the south. How important is that E-zone, and where do we need to go to get that thing really smoking?
I think it's critically important that the city and the county keep that as a front burner project. I know the Convention Visitors Bureau, and I will do everything I can to convince our board that we have to maintain the leadership in pushing that and working together to make that happen, because it's only going to make us that much more successful, not only in selling meetings and conventions, but leisure. And I love the concept E-zone. I like to almost call it Fed zone, where it's a family entertainment zone, because it's going to really benefit all these different markets that come in feed us, but I think it's critical, and I believe we're going to succeed. Today's big news with Joe's Crab Shack opening is kind of that Eastern anchor, and I think that's going to set the tone for a lot more of this to come.
You know, one of the other things that you and I were talking about the other day, I know you're an outdoors guy yourself, golfer, runner, etc. You know, you're going to get an opportunity to take a look at some of the natural assets in Volusia County on the west side.
That's right.
So you've got great natural assets, ecotourism resources, outdoor recreation opportunities, and you've told me that you think that's really a gem to be polished.
It is, because I think our goal, and it's all about being a team player. We have a destination that we're going to bring people here to Daytona, but our goal is not to bring them for a day or 2 days. Our goal is to keep them here for several days, and for us to be successful in doing that, we have to sell the entire area and destination. And that means that take advantage, the experience of the beach and all the things to see and do on Atlantic Avenue and out by the Speedway is just a few of the things that the county brings to the table. The real Florida experience is just a few more miles west or even south. And I think that's the real part of our message, from geotourism to ecotourism, that's part of this whole entire Daytona Beach experience, that's going to really grab even more customers to look at us as a legitimate 7-day vacation destination that doesn't always have to be built around a theme park.
Last question, Jeff. We got lots more to talk about, but so little time.
Sure.
You know, you can't accomplish everything in a day. I know you'd like to. You're an exciting guy. What's first up, do you think? What are your priorities as you really get into this?
Real priorities right now is to make sure that to assess where our team is at. You know, do we have the right, get the players in the right position to succeed, to make sure that we're in the right position for our meetings and convention market. Are we covering the right markets? Are we covering the right shows? Are we doing the right marketing to get the lead generation? Are we positioned right in the leisure market? Are we collecting the data? What are we doing with that data? So it's assessing our team, getting the players in the right position to succeed, building their team smartly, and then become more aggressive with our online marketing, be smarter about our marketing, look at our brand equity, where we need to build up the assets, market that, turn our marketing into an emotional and experiential message, and not all about what actually it is, because that's old school marketing, and then really embrace the online and then the partnership marketing. So that sounds like a lot, but we can do it in the short window that we have, because we have a lot of work to do.
Well, I'm excited. I know you are too. Jeff Hentz, the new president and CEO of the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau. Great talking with you. We'll have you back several times.
Thanks for having me here.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks, Dave.
Our guest today, Jeff Hentz. He's the new president and CEO of the Daytona Beach Convention and Visitors Bureau. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. You can also watch the show online. Just go to volusia.org and click on the Volusia Magazine icon. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a great evening.